Good morning, Facebook friends. Here we are with our little Beau. And yes, he is our constant teacher. I don't know, can you see his poor little head is shaved here? And he's got some stitches in that ear. And I think he's in a bit of pain this morning. We didn't give him a painkiller last night, thinking maybe it's time to wean him off, but he's a little subdued, and I'm more than a little late getting started with my day because I spent the morning cuddling with him. I want to talk about, the impact that this has been having on my life. Monday night when we got the phone call from the vet saying, good news is the surgery seems to have gone well. Bad news is they found a bacteria that is drug resistant, that is causing meningitis, that we have to clear up and have to figure out a medication that's going to work. It is a life or death situation. I had a little bit of a cry Monday night, but I missed that very important secret to living a more joyful, fulfilling life, and that is recognize, honor, acknowledge your emotions. And I decided to cut that little cry short and, buck up, be strong for him, be strong for myself, to just focus on the positive, to step in the circle of love and say, hey, don't go down this path of worrying about him not being okay. They're going to find the right answer. It's going to be fine. Only I did that just a little too soon. I hadn't actually spilled all of the emotion that was there. I hadn't felt it all the way through before I took that step. And what happened? Wednesday morning. Yes, today's Thursday. Wednesday morning, I missed doing a Facebook Live because I got lost, and I was driving around trying to find a location of a business meeting that I was going to at the time that I should have been doing my Facebook Live. And golly, not really that big a deal. I ended up being 40 minutes late for the start of the meeting. Two of my wonderful fellow EBC Mastermind members were gathering, and we were going to do some brainstorming together. So Sharon Karn and Catherine Sackley-Stevens and I were meeting. And good morning, Rhonda. I was very late for the meeting and very frustrated. And when I walked in the door, after several phone calls going, so tell me where I go now from here, one of them looked at me and said, wow, you've had a rough morning. And I burst into tears. Really, getting lost and being late for a meeting is not a reason to burst into tears. It was obviously all of that emotion that I had stuffed down and hadn't been expressing, hadn't let flow through completely from beginning to end from that news Monday night. All of the fear and all of those things, instead of acknowledging it, feeling it through, I just did that. No, it's all going to be fine, and pushed it away first. So there is a time and a place to be able to let your feelings flow all the way through. And that business meeting wasn't necessarily the time and place, and that wouldn't have even happened if I had dealt with it when I was in the comfort of my own home Monday night. And I guess my head told me I wanted to be strong for Neil, that I didn't want him to see me suffering, that I didn't want him to see me being less than the spiritual warrior I am. And that's all head game stuff. It's just silly to fall victim to it, and I did. And I don't beat myself up for it. Instead, I'm here being very vulnerable and real with you and saying, learn from that. Please don't do that. It really is an uncomfortable thing. I put myself in a really awkward position. I'm just blessed that Sharon and Catherine are understanding, compassionate women who gave me that space. And Sharon just hugged me and said, let it out, let it out. And so I cried on her shoulder for a while, and we were able to pull it together. And yes, it delayed the start of the meeting even more, but I was able to focus and be present and be in service to them for doing that. And this morning the concern is there again, as my little boy was all cuddled up to me and kind of doing little shudders and stuff before I kind of, oh, thank you, Rhonda, sending love. Before I realized